Hello, my name is Azra Kayaks, and welcome to my channel, Stories from Azra Kayaks. Today we're going to be reading Dragoons The Awakening, Chapter 1, Part 2. Timer start. We're going to be picking off where we left off. Usually, I feel like it's better to just read the last sentence that was read, but at the same time, no. So we're just going to go and start it from there. So here we go. Let's get started. Winry, take this pot to Mrs. Jacobs and make sure she eats it. I'm tired of feeding her good-for-nothing, fat-ass, lazy son, Grandma says. Right now? Winry says. But, but, Winry has a face of sadness. Don't sass me, girl. Go, now, or I'm no longer cooking. Grandma folds her arms. That's fine. I can cook. Winry stands up and puts her hands on her hips. And then you'll kill half the village, Draco says. My cooking isn't that bad, Winry yells at Draco. I've lived with you for 18 years, Winry. Every time you cooked, I swear something bad happens. It's as if your cooking was an aberration to life itself, Draco exclaims. Fuck you, Winry screams and grabs the pot and then leaves in anger. Grandma sits down across from Draco. That was a bit harsh, don't you think, Draco? What? You're telling me that's a bit harsh? You're the one to talk, old hag. Draco stares at her. Hag, huh? Well, I guess I deserve that. And a whole bunch more. You were ruthless to me, Draco says, looking away. But I did it to make you stronger, Draco. I did it with love. Grandma puts her hands on the table. What kind of love was that? I didn't have any time for myself. All I did was train and do what you asked of me. Draco stares daggers at Grandma. Draco, you didn't see what it was like back then, during the Dragoon Wars. All that death, pain. No one was spared, not even me, Grandma says, rubbing her wooden leg. Draco sees her rub her leg and stays quiet. I lost everything, Draco. My husband, my daughter, and even my son-in-law. All I have left was my granddaughter, Wenry, this village, and the very, very few friends I had in it. And, Grandma pauses. Draco says, and what? Still feeling mad. You. I found you alone in the carnage. I raised you as my own child. I even gave you the name of a legendary hero. Draco points to Draco's heart, or Grandma points to Draco's heart. Draco's anger subsides as he looks at her. I made you strong, Draco, because I believe you could lead this village as its next leader. Whoa. What? You're the leader. You're the village leader. What are you talking about? What are you saying? Draco gets confused and flustered. I'm saying, Draco, I'm dying, Grandma says. Aren't you like 1,000? Of course you're dying, Draco says, trying to get a laugh out of Grandma. Draco, I'm serious. Grandma stares at Draco. Well, I'm not fit. Isn't there anyone else that would be better as a leader? Draco exclaims. Draco, my boy, I have lived in this village for over 50 years. I know everyone here. Some as old as me, while others came later. Then the kids. You are the only one I trust. The only person I believe can help keep this village in working order. Can help keep everyone alive and happy. Grandma reaches out her hands across the table toward Draco, hoping he grabs them. After a hesitant second, Draco reaches out his hands and holds her hands. I hate you. I hate that you're asking me to do this. I even hate Winry sometimes. But you're the closest things I have to family, Draco says. Grandma smiles. I promise you. I promise you, old hag, that when you pass away, I'll take over. I'll make sure this village doesn't disappear to time or anything crazy like that. Draco smiles. What about Wenry? Grandma clutches Draco's hands harder. Ow. What about her? Draco gets confused as to what she means. You're both of marrying age, and I would love to see my great grandbaby before I pass, Grandma says with a cough. Draco tries to pull his hands away, but he can't. Why are you so strong? He says in confusion. Grandma says, many years ago, I took care of you and this village. Now that I think about it, shouldn't you be asking her to do this? Draco says he still tries to pull his hands away from Grandma, but is unable to. Draco, please! She never lets her hair grow. It's shorter than yours. She's almost as buff as you, and she never wears dresses. Only male clothes. Grandma pulls Draco's closer. Everybody thinks she's my grandson, not my granddaughter. I need you to bring back the feminine mindset in her, Grandma says with fake tears in her eyes. She seems fine to me. What are you talking about? She was wearing a dress right now. Draco finally pulls himself away from Grandma a little bit. Draco. She only put it on because you were coming. I even saw her gargling some mint. I'm guessing so her breath wouldn't smell bad or something? Oh. Draco stops pulling and laughs to himself. How have you not noticed this? How have you not noticed the way she feels about you, Draco? Grandma says. Draco sits there in silence, thinking about the past. How long has it been since you've been in the village, Draco? Grandma says. About 6 months, Draco says. And how often did Wenry go see you while you were in the woods? Grandma says. Draco thinks for a second. He thinks long and hard. Been gone for 6 months. So, if I think about it, I think it was about 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks. Once every 2 weeks. Sometimes twice every 2 weeks. Draco says. So you're telling me, Wenry, this woman, a short and frail... Grandma gets cut off. She is not frail, Draco chimes in. Shut up. My point is, the woman went in the freezing cold to see you all winter long and spring, and now summer, Grandma says, staring at Draco. Draco has a sudden realization. Do you not feel the same, Draco? Grandma lets go. I just never thought about stuff like that. Draco replies. Draco, to a dying old woman, one last thing and search your feelings. Grandma says, staring at Draco with love in her heart, love in her eyes, and love in her soul. Yeah, I'll do that. Draco looks up at her. What is taking Wenry so long? Grandma says. Wenry walks in. Grandma, I am never doing that again. Mrs. Jacob eats so freaking slow. Hurry up, Wenry. I'm old and hungry. Serve us dinner, Grandma yells at her. I just finished serving Miss Jacobs. Now I gotta serve you guys? Wenry whines. Just do it, girl, Grandma yells. Wenry hurries and gets the food and serves everybody. Finally, I'm starving. Draco and Wenry and Grandma eat their chicken drake stew with potatoes and other vegetables. I'm stuffed, Wenry says. Same. I guess it's time to go, Draco says. No, stay the night, Draco. It's late and this is your home, Grandma says. No, I don't know. It's fine. I can go home, Draco says. Nonsense. Wenry, get Draco's old blanket, Grandma says. Wenry looks away. I can't, Wenry says. Why not? Grandma says. I used it she's been gone for so long, so I kinda use it as a secondary towel, to wipe my feet on. Wenry says ashamed. Draco looks at Wenry, then the Grandma. This is my home. Yeah, it totally is. I feel so welcomed here. when we're in Grandma San unison. Shut up, Draco. They all laugh. uh, Draco decides to spend the night. Draco spends the night and he sleeps without no blanket. Poor man. That's it. That is the end of chapter 1. This is my home. I hope you guys liked it. To finish up the chapter, remember, if you guys like my videos, please like, comment, and subscribe. That's it for today. Azure Kayaks out. And I will see you guys next time, my fellow Volkaijin.